The galactic rim had always carried stories of a strange species that vanished long before most civilizations learned to travel through the void. Some cultures called them myth. Others treated them as a warning. A few believed they were guardians, but most dismissed them as tales meant to entertain younglings. The name of this lost species was spoken with a mixture of awe and disbelief. They were known as humans. For centuries, archivists debated their existence. Traders claimed they found fragments of their ruins on distant worlds. Explorers returned with half-burned data shards, telling of their skill in engineering and their unmatched drive. Yet no living witness had ever seen one. The galaxy carried on without them. Empires rose. Empires fell. Councils formed. Councils dissolved. And the memory of humans faded into the background like a forgotten story. But everything changed during one calm cycle on the world known as Veltron. The Veltron Council gathered for its routine meeting inside a hall carved from crystal stone. Light refracted across the walls in gentle colors. The air hummed with quiet diplomacy. No one expected the day to bring anything unusual. Delegates from dozens of species arrived with their usual scrolls and tablets. They greeted one another. They discussed trade routes. They reviewed border disputes. All was peaceful. At the center of the hall sat a young observer named Aaron. He was not a council member yet. His duty was to record proceedings and manage communication signals. He was diligent. He was calm. He believed the galaxy was predictable. That belief shattered when the sky broke open. A sharp alert echoed through the chamber. Aaron straightened as the screens lit up. A tremor spread across the hall as the defense network sounded its warning. Delegates rose from their seats. Panic flickered across their faces. Aaron tapped the console. He expected the cause to be a meteor cluster or a pirate fleet. The truth drained all color from his face as an enormous unknown armada entered orbit. The chamber erupted with voices. Questions struck the air like sparks. Who are they? What are they doing here? Are they hostile? Aaron expanded the display. The ships were unlike anything registered in the Council archives. Their hulls were forged from layered silver alloys, shaped into clean angles. Their engines radiated a stable hum powerful enough to bend the atmosphere. Their formation was perfect. There were hundreds. Then there were thousands. The numbers climbed until the sky appeared sealed shut by metal. A council guard rushed into the hall. His voice shook as he spoke. The fleet is not responding to standard identification calls. Their symbols are unknown. Their positioning suggests a controlled and measured arrival. The council leader, a calm elder named Liran, narrowed his eyes. He turned to Aaron. Open a wide-range broadcast channel. Aaron nodded. The channel pulsed to life. He expected static. Instead, a voice answered. It was steady. It was clear. It carried a confidence none in the room had heard before. This is Commander Hall of the Human Expeditionary Fleet. We request direct communication with your governing council. The chamber fell silent. A stillness so complete it felt like the air had frozen. No one moved. No one spoke. Aaron looked around. Delegates stared at one another in disbelief. The impossible had spoken. The legends were real. Lira and stepped forward. He chose his words with care. This is the Veltron Council. You identify yourselves as humans. Affirmative. Humans have returned to this region of space. Our fleet carries representatives from Earth. We come with diplomatic intent. Diplomatic intent. The phrase echoed throughout the hall. A legend had resurfaced. Not as ghosts. Not as myths. But as a grand armada strong enough to overshadow the sun. Aaron could not look away from the screen. He zoomed in on the flagship. It was huge. Larger than any vessel the Council had ever produced. Its shining hull was marked with a simple emblem, a sphere with a single line crossing through its center. Hale noticed the scan. He spoke again. "We detect your analysis. It is acceptable. We do not hide our presence. We come openly and without fear," Liran answered. "Your arrival is unexpected, Commander Hale. Why have humans returned after so many cycles?" Hale paused. The answer carried a weight that pressed on every heart in the chamber. "We did not know your galaxy had forgotten us. We withdrew long ago during a time when Earth faced internal conflict. But we have risen again. We have unified. We have advanced. And now we search for knowledge about what the galaxy has become in our absence." The hall filled with murmurs. Some felt awe. Some felt fear. Some felt excitement. But no one doubted Hale's words. The fleet was real. It was powerful. It was human. Liran lifted one hand. "If you seek diplomacy, we welcome conversation. You may send a landing envoy." Hale answered immediately. "Acknowledged. A shuttle is en route to your hall." Aaron's breath caught. He realized he was witnessing history. The return of a species spoken about only in legends. The hall prepared. Guards assembled. Delegates formed orderly lines. The skylight above the chamber parted. A shuttle descended from the fleet. It glided through the air with flawless precision. Its landing pads touched the floor as soft as a whisper. A door opened. 3 figures stepped out. They wore dark uniforms with clear design and structure. Their posture was straight, their movements controlled, their eyes sharp and observant. They looked like no other species in the galaxy. They looked human. The lead envoy introduced himself with a simple nod. "My name is Hale. May we speak?" Liran gestured toward the center of the chamber. "You honor us with your presence. The legends say your people accomplished feats unmatched by any other civilization." Hale's expression remained neutral. "We remember our past, but we do not rely on myths. Tell us what the galaxy became during our absence." What followed was a long exchange. Hale and his envoys asked about current politics. They asked about trade routes. They asked about conflicts. They asked about the state of technology. They listened without interruption. Their focus was unwavering. Their precision almost unnatural. Aaron watched them closely. Hale carried himself like someone who had spent his life preparing for this moment. His tone was steady. His confidence unshakable. He was a reminder that humans were not like other species. They possessed a drive unlike anything the galaxy had seen. When the council explained the galaxy's structure, Hale nodded slowly. He finally said something that changed the tone of the entire meeting. "Your galaxy is peaceful, but unprepared. There are threats at its edge. Forces gathering in regions you do not monitor. We have detected hostile activity near the void rifts. You must strengthen your defenses." Liran frowned. "How do you know this?" Hale looked toward the ceiling, where the faint shadow of his massive fleet lingered beyond the clouds. "Because we encountered these threats on our journey. We did not flee. We faced them. We erased them. The galaxy is not as silent as you believe." A tremor ran through the delegates. Some whispered nervously. Others leaned forward with interest. Hale continued with the gravity of a commander who had witnessed more dangers than the council could imagine. "We did not return to conquer. We returned because we know what lurks in the dark. You speak of legends, but legends are born for a reason." Aaron felt the truth in his words. Hale was not boasting. He was warning. Humanity had fought something powerful, and they had survived. The council spent hours speaking with the humans. Questions were asked. Answers were given. Some delegates attempted to challenge Hale. His responses remained calm and direct. Others attempted to flatter him. He ignored the praise. He appeared focused only on facts. Aaron admired that. He sensed that the human fleet was not here for glory. It was here for purpose. When the meeting finally drew to an end, Liran stepped forward. "Your arrival will reshape the galaxy, Commander Hale. We ask for cooperation. We ask for peace." Hale nodded. "We accept cooperation. Peace is possible, but it must be protected. Humans will not stand idle if the galaxy is threatened." The envoys returned to their shuttle. The engines lifted the craft into the air. It rejoined the fleet above. The warships moved with silent grace. Their formation shifted. Their engines glowed brighter. Then their fleet extended far across the horizon. Every ship maintained perfect alignment. It was a display of mastery. A display of unity. Rin watched as the fleet rose higher. The sun dipped behind them. Their hulls reflected light like a second dawn. He realized he would never forget the sight. The legends had returned. They had come not as wanderers, not as refugees, but as a force that could tilt the balance of the galaxy itself. Night fell across Veltron. Lights flickered across cities as citizens stared at the fleet in awe. Stories spread from street to street, from family to family, from planet to planet. The entire galaxy turned its attention to the once forgotten species. Some celebrated. Some prepared defenses. Some gathered allies. But all knew the same truth. Humans were not myths any longer. They had returned. And they brought with them a future none could predict. Aaron returned to his quarters that night. He sat by the window and looked up at the sky. 1,000 human warships glowed softly like stars. He touched the glass. He felt a sense of wonder. He understood what this meant. The galaxy was entering a new era. An era shaped by a species who refused to fade into legend. The humans watched over the planet silently. Their fleet held its formation until dawn. Then they sent a final message to the Veltron Council. "We will patrol the outer sectors. We will study the void rifts. We will maintain contact. Earth has returned.